Well, yeah, hey, good day there. Got another problem on the go here. We're going to fix this one up. We got a 2012 Dodge Journey here with a 3.6, the V6 in this one here, and he's throwing a code. So we're going to check the code and we're going to get this all fixed up. All right, so we're going to plug this thing in here and we're going to pull the codes out of it. The access port is just up beside the park brake pedal here. It's kind of a vertical one. A lot of them are flat. This one's sitting this way. Anyway, we got this here. Turn the ignition on there so the thing will hook up. And it's connecting, and we're going to see what we can come up with here. There you go, P0128, thermostat rationality. One of two. Well, let's see what the other one is. Two of two, same code. Thermostat rationality, generic permanent. Okay, anyway. Thing needs a thermostat. We're into the it's almost Christmas time here, end of December, and it's cold weather out. Let me shut that thing off. And this car is cold, man. This thing won't come up to temperature, so we're gonna throw a stat in this thing. Okay, so coming around the front here, this is what we got. We got the 3.6. I'm gonna put a stat in it. Here's the part we got. And so you can get these in two different ways. You can get it with the housing included or a stat by itself. And so I got the one with the housing included all as one piece. You can change this thermostat out all on its own. But you know what? The difference in price between this having this housing on it and not, the difference in price truly was about $5. And this thing's all plastic, and it's 2012, so we've been going through like 11 years now of hot and cold cycles on a plastic housing. And I don't know if the original one down in there is all brittle, or he's down in here, if he's all brittle or whatever, hot and cold and hot and cold and hot and cold. You know what? For $5, I'm getting a brand new housing, and it's all installed and all ready to go in the whole bit. And like I said, the difference in it was like $5. So how much did this thing cost? Give you an idea what's going on here. So I'm in Canada here, so I don't know, prices are different in the States, whatever. This thing was, where are we? Was $29.99. There you go. So yeah, it's not a horrible price. Stats used to be a lot cheaper, but whatever. Anyway, it was $5 more than the other one. So this thing here just pops off. You can grab them and give them a couple of pulls and pops off. So this thing is located right there. There he is. No big deal. We're gonna take off one hose clamp, pull the hose back. There's two bolts, top one and one underneath the bottom one. Again, let me grab this new one here. So this thing is situated like this in there. So top bolt and bottom bolt. So yeah, it should be pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Looks like there's a bleeder on top of here, whatever, to let the air out as you're dumping your antifreeze back in, and it should be good. So we're gonna get after this thing. All right, so let's get going on this thing here. We're gonna kick this antifreeze drain pan underneath the front here. Just kind of get it situated down in underneath here so it grabs most of the stuff. These two bolts here appear to be 10 millimeter head, so we're just going to go in with a 1/4 inch drive ratchet. I think they're not going to be too tight. We're going to use a pair of channel locks to get that hose clamp off, And if the hose is stuck on there too tightly, we're going to use this here rad hose hook to get in here and peel that away from that plastic neck on that hosing there. Okay, so we're going to pull this rad cap off here to release any pressure that might be in there. And there's no pressure in there. This thing is stone cold. It hasn't run since yesterday because I didn't want it to be so hot that it was going to be uncomfortable for me to work on. And also I didn't want all that pressure built up in there. So, all right, we're going to tear this thing all apart. I'm going to go for that rad hose first, and we're going to pull him off. And hopefully we're going to be able to get onto that clamp reasonably well. Let's see how we're going to do this. Oh yeah, not bad. Going from this side here. Pull back this funky cloth protector. I'm going to close this up here one more. Okay. Alright, come on, baby. Oh yeah. Okay, well, there you go. Okay, we've moved him back and leave him on the hose. Now we're going to grab. Now sometimes you can take your channel locks and go on there and grip that hose and kind of rock it back and forth to break it free from whatever it's stuck on. Do one of these type of things, but it's actually kind of stuck on there, I see. So we got a rad hose hook. And we're gonna pick it in here, work it in, and work it all the way around. There, you got it in. He's going. Okay. All right, he's coming. Got some coolant coming out of there. Hey, man, it's cold out here today. Holy mackerel! You know, this stuff can never happen in June or July. It's always got to wait for the cold months, right? Oh, geez. Okay, come on. Man, my fingers are cold already. All right, so. Ouch. All right, I'm getting wounded. I'm gonna change my angle of attack here. Come in from this side. Got a bad finger here from where I hurt it a couple days ago, and that's hurting me on there, so yeah. All right, there he is. Got him on the other side there. Okay, well, we should be able to just pull him off now. He's all loose. There, he's coming off. You grab him, pull him off, and some antifreeze is going to dump out. Like so. Okay. No need to drain the whole system. Everything that wants to come out has already come out. It's dribbling there. Let me adjust this underneath. Okay, so we got a little bit of running out of there. No big deal. We're going to let him come out and take these. Wow, look out there and knock my camera over. Holy mackerel. Take it easy, everybody. Okay. I'm going to take this here out. Oh, yeah, geez, there, things almost seemed like it was only like finger tight. Holy cow. Surprised it wasn't leaking there. So we're just going to take this top one out. And, oh, it's cold out here. Okay. Come on. That's almost there. I can do it. I can do it. Okay. Okay, we got him out. We're here. Got him out of there. Put him up on top for safekeeping. And we're going to reach in underneath here and grab this next one here, the bottom one. Probably blocking the camera. Probably can't see anything. But anyway, okay. it's a little difficult to swing around into that one for the camera. I'm just going to shut this thing off and come back to it when I got it out. All right, good. So there it is. So with the hose off, you can very easily get in from the front and underneath here and get this bottom bolt out right here. Bottom bolt coming out from there, no big deal. It's all coming out pretty good. So this thing will just pop off now, like so. Stuck on a little bit from the old O-ring, and that's it. So do you see anything? Is this thing hung open? No, it looks like it's closed all the way around. But anyway, he's getting a new one. So we're going to put that thing aside. So what's going on here? There's the old seal, got to come off. And we're going to wipe that up a little bit with a rag, clean it up some, make sure it's nice and smooth, and stick the new one on there. All right, nice and clean. I got it all wiped up here, and we're going to just put the new one in place and screw it on and tighten them up. No big deal. All right, there. So we got the new one on there. Just you know, you went on here and you went on from underneath here. Did one of these things to get in underneath there, and you know, it's all plastic stuff, whatever. So don't go crazy on that. There are metal sleeves inside there to, you know, keep you from over tightening and disforming that plastic there or whatever. But it just needs to be nice and snug. You don't have to go crazy on it. It's got an O-ring in there. This is the old one that compresses up against the I don't know what that is, intake manifold probably, or the end of the block, or the water pump, I don't know. Anyway, it's compressing up against something, and so it doesn't have to go crazy. So, you know, do the top one, you know, bring it in, don't make it tight at all, then do the bottom one, bring it in, and then, you know, do a little, do a little, do a little, do a little, do it. So, because you want that thing to, you know, move over nice and gently and evenly on that rubber seal, so that it sits nicely and, you know, it doesn't go in there crooked somehow. So we're going to slip this hose on there, fill some back into here, and bleed it off some air, and this thing will be done. All right, so I dumped that stuff back in, filtered it through a bit of a shop rag here because there's all kinds of debris and junk left in there from other jobs and stuff falling in it all the time. So always a good idea to do that. So we're going to unscrew this here dude and let any air out of it. And I try not to drop that thing. Appears I got to come all the way out. Actually, I'm going to screw it back in before I lose that thing. And I'm going to take it out by hand, because I'm going to drop that thing right on the ground out here and I'll never find it. Okay, I'm going to take him out by hand and see that there's coolant coming out of there. I'm sure I'm going to have to top up this whole system a little bit. I did lose some. So yeah, there's coolant coming out. This stuff is kind of a funny pink color. Milky pink. Not exactly sure why that is, but it's always been like that in this car. So, you know, some people say, oh geez, that's a head gasket or something that's making it frothy. But it's always been like that for years in this car. This is my daughter's car, so I know the full history of this thing. So anyway, there was antifreeze right there, so I'm gonna get a little bit more, and I'm gonna top this. I'm gonna top this up some here, and we checked it recently, and that's where we're at right now. So I'm just gonna mix up a little bit and stuff it all in there. And we're going to take a pail of water and we're going to throw it on here to wash this all off and get this thing running. Okay, so I got this here mixed up. This is actually left over from a previous job, but he's mixed to minus 45. So we're going to dump that in all in here, or a bunch of it in here anyway. And it'll be all good. And dump a bunch. Go, go, go. And yeah, he's good and full there. See level on the side. So yeah, we're going to I'm gonna go get a bucket of water, splash in here, so wash them belts all off, and we're gonna start them up and get them going. Alright, well that'll do it. As you can probably hear, there's an exhaust leak underneath there, so that'll be the next thing I'm going to have to get onto, but might leave that till the springtime because it's chilly cold out here, that's for sure. So I'm going to let this thing warm up, and I have the heater on full blast here. Full blast of frost, full hot, full everything. So we're going to let this thing heat up and check it for heat, make sure that there's not an airlock somewhere in the heater core, and after it cools down we'll check the levels. So that'll do it. So pretty easy job on this one here, no great big skill necessary to do this one. So you know, if you got something out of this video here, and you got a little bit of I don't know, something that you can do on your own and get yourself some satisfaction out of doing your own car repairs, hit the like and subscribe for me. Leave a comment down below and said, hey man, you did good, or you didn't do so good, or whatever. But yeah, let me know and leave a comment. So yeah, until we see you on the next one there, this is Wrench Gear, and we'll figure out something else to do. Thanks for watching. Actually, just before we finish this thing here off, just one more little thing. I'm going to turn that off. We're going to plug this thing back in, this scanner code reader, and we're going to delete the codes out of this thing, and delete the codes out of it. Let me turn that blower down there, some noisy in here. And we're going to get rid of all those codes, and so we can turn the light off on the dash. That light there. I'm going to turn that off, and here, erase them. I'm going to erase them. Erasing clears all codes. Yeah, you're darn right I want to do it. Okay, so we're going to do this. One moment, please. The erase was successful. All right, that's good. That's how we like them to be successful. So we're going to turn the ignition off. These lousy push buttons. Okay. And we're going to unplug this thing. And we're going to turn this back on, and the light should be gone. All right, good. No light. Perfect. I'm going to take this thing for a quick spin around the block and get her all warmed up, and then check it for leaks when we come back, and should be all good. All right. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.